YouTube, welcome back to another episode of Nerdwave Plays. So, as you can see, I've decided to continue on with Borderlands, at least in the meantime. So, we're gonna head out to some of the DLC areas. And my reasoning behind it was, while I was kind of considering jumping to a new game, I was trying to work out the logistics of planning the game, because here we are, it's end of August already. And, you know, do we have anything to empty before we head out? Yes, we do. Yeah, it's already the end of August, and, you know, ideally, I like to time it where we start spooky season, you know, October-ish, so today is August 28th. You know, ideally, the first Sunday of the month for the upload would be Sunday, October 3rd. Which means I still have, you know, so tomorrow's Sunday, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I've got a good 10 slots of content to fill in, 10 more uploads. So, after looking at my options and the time frame I had to work with, it seemed to make more sense. Okay, we'll get rid of you. Ooh, that might work. You know, this one could be promising. We're going to take a look at that guy. Rather than start a new game and then kind of get partway through it and then stop to accommodate the switch back, excuse me, I decided let's just stick with the Borderlands for now. Get rid of the junk. You know, I kind of messed with my setup a little earlier, so. Actually, not that great. Except the clip size is a little bigger, but the other stats are pretty low. That's a shame. Nothing here looks terribly awesome. However, interesting. That accuracy is really bad, though. And considering the higher fire rate, yeah, we're gonna stick with that set. However, I think I will keep this guy here. As a backup, and let's ammo up. Okay, so how do we get to the DLC? Well, when you go to the new U station, you know, where we have fast travel, you know, if you have the expansion packs, you'll see they will be at the very bottom. Jacob's Cove, which is Moxie's Underdome. T-Bone Junction is the Army of General Knox. Tartarus Station is the Claptrap Rebel Revolution. And Jacob's Cove was the zombie island of Dr. Ned, excuse me. So, I think Jacob's Cove is my favorite. The Underdome is not particularly a favorite, mostly because it's simply like an arena battle royale style tournament where you go through waves and waves of enemies, and you know, maybe we'll pop in for a few rounds later. But this one's really only fun with friends or with the group. By yourself, I just don't really... I get bored pretty easily playing alone. And then T-Bone Junction. The Armory Knox. I think I like this one a bit more than Tartarus Station. However... However, why don't we do this one first? And kind of get out of the way. I think my big gripe with this one is there's several quests here that are very...
Our story began when the Hyperion Corporation
well.
decided they'd had enough of the treasure hunters. With the vault on lockdown, they had served their purpose, and now they were a drain on the economy. Why pay full price for weapons
there's several quests,
when you can take
in
a
the beginning,
5-finger discount off the nearest corpse? Hyperion was looking to clear up the drain, but those guys were one tough hairball.
It just kind of involves going around and killing.
Well, yes, you see, the treasure hunters were blocking the flow of and the grimy buildup of money.
And again, that gets old pretty.
Shut up!
That's not that great.
Point is, Hyperion had a plan. The treasure hunters could handle all manner of beastie, bandit, and battalion, but they weren't expecting.
We'll probably keep this
the interplanetary ninja assassin Claptrap.
The normal.
This Claptrap was programmed to take our boys out indirectly, trapping, poisoning, spreading catty rumors around town.
I had no idea
Nothing was off limits. He was smart,
the time difference
too smart. He looked around and didn't like what he saw. Claptrap being subjugated, humiliated, obliterated. What we call programming, he called slavery. So he rallied his fellow Claptraps and turned them against their corporate masters. What started as a rebellion
not just the recording, but actually
a wild guess who Hyperion
editing
called
portion
to
and
clean
saving
up
files
the
and
mess.
putting everything together and then uploading it after was a lot longer than I thought it would take. And I was like, holy cow, like this, I don't have the greatest laptop. It's, it's not that old. It's, let's see, 2021. I'd say, I think I got this. Oh gosh, when did I buy this one? I bought this one to replace my previous one, which otherwise was working fine, but the mechanisms on the the mechanisms on the the hardware that where it closes and shuts. I don't know what happened, but something got into it, and I was closing it one day, and it totally snapped. And it snapped in this really awkward part where things just broke off, and it exposed some of the circuitry and the wiring running from the monitor portion to the keyboard, and it was just an absolute wreck. I have no idea what I did. I have no idea how that happened, but and then even then it still worked kind of wonky. Like it would shut off at random. The screen was kind of glitchy. So from that point forward, I'm like, well, this thing's done. So I decided to pick this up, and I want to say I picked this up probably, if it wasn't late 2019, it may have been early 2020. Like before COVID was really a thing and before the shutdowns and stuff. I think I probably ordered it around then. So I mean, it's not too bad. It's it works fine for the games I do want to play on it and for my needs. However,
I wonder what this does.
In terms of recording and doing all the extra stuff that I'm doing now, I didn't really take that into account as I wasn't doing YouTube at the time.
Hey, hello! Welcome to my secret lab.
So ideally, maybe later down the road, we'd probably get a, I'll still probably keep this laptop, but buy a dedicated PC to handle the editing and the saving, something with a bigger hard drive. You know, a little more memory too wouldn't hurt for sure. But for now, this does the job. It does the job. So, claptrap components. This quest, I tells you. So you'll see, you know, the enemies are level appropriate, which is good. So we should, we'll be on our way to leveling soon, and level we will. Because my goodness, this quest. You're like, nerd wave, there's only 5 components to find. Oh, you'll see. This kind of reminds me of those like World of Warcraft quests where, you know, there was one specific one. If you were an Alliance player looking for Gore-Tusk livers in Westfall, it's like, how many of these Gore-Tusks don't have livers? And if you're familiar with, there is a funny channel, I think it's called Carbot Animations. They do these little cartoon shorts about Blizzard games, you know, World of Warcraft, StarCraft, Diablo, and they have a long-running series about World of Warcraft, and they do an episode on this, and it is hilarious. Now, it's not exactly the same, but this is kind of what it feels like. You're just looking for components and you're looking for pieces, and it just doesn't end. It just takes too long. But anywho. Oh, what have we here? What have we here? The first drop. Oh, you know what? Maybe we're at the part, or we're not at the part where we have to... Oh, yeah, okay. So... Okay, so they're not dropping them now, but all these claptrap robots will start spawning, and they're fighting you, and they're fighting the Hyperion army, which is also here, and they're fighting the bandits. So everyone's fighting everything. It's just chaos. It is utter chaos. Yeah, so it doesn't look like they're dropping anything here yet, so... Huh, well that's awkward. Let's see. Well, I don't know if we have to explore the whole area or if that diamond's actually leading us to the next component. But, let's go look. I don't play this one as often during my replays, so... And, again, since the DLC is all optional anyway, you don't have to play through it. It's not a requirement, you know, it is extra XP and gear and stuff. Normally when I do play, I prefer Zombie Island and the Armory. The Armory specifically because those drops, can't go wrong with those drops. And I won't, well, I guess I don't want to say spoiler alert, but this is a pretty old game. But in the very last quest, you do have an opportunity to get some awesome loot. Holy cow. Yeah, in fact, it's pretty incredible. Oh, of course. No! Gosh darn it, Claptrap. Yes! We're alive. Okay. But yeah, there's a, ooh. I think it looked like that shield was a full-on upgrade. Let's check it out. Oh yeah. Awesome. Interestingly enough, its value is less than the one I have just because it's white and not green, but the stats are better. I mean, one extra capacity isn't great, but the recharge rate's a little better. Health regen's the same. So, yeah, you know what? We'll take it. We'll take it. I'll take the upgrade. Yeah, burning through the combat rifle ammo. You know what? We're gonna check the ammo vendor later and see if we have an upgrade for the ammo capacity yet. I don't know. We'll see. Lots of money, but again, money's never really an issue in this game. Most of my funds just get reallocated to ammo. I don't really buy a lot of the weapons when they are available because normally they're not terribly good. But once in a while, you find something worth spending the money on. Good. Let's keep her down. Holy cow. Oh, they're behind that. Ah, they're everywhere. Whew. That was close. We're not done with you yet. Boom. Take out the ad first. Get the kill skills up. Seems to be an effective, really simple strategy for taking down some of the tougher enemies. Sometimes it's easier to let some of the weaker enemies let them live. Okay, that was not a good idea.
Come on, little one!
Oh, of course. Yes! Alive. Whew. Okay. That was slightly distracting, but let's head back. And we are running on fumes here for combat rifle ammo. Great. Just great. Okay. Got 1 out of 5. To the top. Yep, and it looks like I was right. Just follow the diamonds. So they'll be scattered about. We'll now let's see. So we'll swing up and around, and then head southeast. warm day today. Disgusting. Oh, not disgustingly hot like it was this week. You know, yesterday in particular was really hot. Today wasn't as bad, but still ran the air for most of the day because it can get pretty gnarly in here. Alright, well, should keep us going. Ooh. Ammo box. Alright. Sweet. Alright. Well, that'll keep us going for a little longer. Rocket launcher. We don't need rocket launcher ammo. We need combat rifle rounds. Alright. Let's get the last three.
Target hit.
Oh, did not see you there, my friend. Oh boy. Alright. Oh, of course. Yes! That was just pure luck. I'm like, I will not be able to take down a badass in my second wind. I was wrong. I was wrong.
Never should have come here. Now you're gonna burn.
All right. Still running low. Not today, my friend. Not today. Oh boy. And we're out. Why don't we switch to the, let's see. Let's see here. Got a good friend, the submachine gun. Still got quite a bit of rounds, and while we're not using the combat rifle, hopefully we can pick up some spare ammo lying around here and there. Yeah, we're almost gonna hit level 37 here. So let's see. All right. Of course. Let's see. All right. Now we gotta head west for the next one. Nope. It was kind of a lazy Saturday, so I watched a couple movies earlier today, and one I streamed on the Crackle app. And I used to use Crackle back in like college when I was like super broke and didn't always have money for Netflix. It's like a stream, you know, it's like a free streaming app. I mean, and there's a few good movies in there. You know, most of it's pretty much garbage, but it's something. It's something to watch. But they're starting to do, you know, how, you know, there's Netflix originals, Hulu originals. Well, Crackle has their own originals now. And I threw one in just for the heck of it because you know, it looked kind of interesting. I think it was called Skyfire. So it's about this, like, I think the tagline was like, you know, it's kind of like Jurassic Park, but instead of dinosaurs, it's a volcano. So this company makes this, you know, like this beautiful resort on this tropical island, but at the center of that island, there's this giant volcano that, you know, they say, no, it's not active, it's safe, it's fine, and then, of course, things weren't fine. I mean, it wasn't a bad movie. It was your typical, you know, just, you know, a pretty typical action film, popcorn film. You know, I don't need to watch it again. Nothing there was particularly awesome. Jason Isaacs came out in it, though, so that's kind of noteworthy. You know, he's a pretty famous actor. So I thought that was kind of cool. You know, he didn't have as big of a role in the film as I thought he would. You know, he certainly wasn't the lead. Damn, I'm getting wrecked. These gags seem a bit more aggressive than... Oh, maybe it's just me. What the... Jeez. Alright, anyway. Yeah, so this lost my train of thought. Yeah, I mean, again, it's just like a so-so movie, and it kind of reminded me of, you know, like Dante's Peak and Volcano. If you watch those, there was this fad in the, we'll say, the kind of the 90s, you know, natural disaster films were really popular. You know, aside from that, you had your Twister. There was another one called Tornado, which wasn't quite as good, but Ernie Hudson came out in that one, so that was kind of its saving grace. Both similar films, and then, you know, your Armageddon and Deep Impact, and, you know, those were pretty popular back then. So you kind of felt the same vibes, and, you know, this film kind of had the same thing, except it was all like Chinese produced, and it was dubbed over, so you can, you know, the way they were talking and the way, you know, their mouths were moving and the dub. I mean, it wasn't bad, but yeah, you can tell it's I mean, like even like special effects wise, I mean, you know, the special effects weren't bad, but you kind of figured they'd be a little better. The film came out actually in 2019, but it's still pretty recent. So for 2019, I guess I was expecting a little more. Than that, you know, you can tell it wasn't, you know, the same as watching like a Hollywood film. You know, it didn't feel like a cheap knockoff necessarily, but, you know, like the special effects weren't of the same caliber that you'd expect from watching, you know, like, you know, like an A-list Hollywood film. You know, not like a lower budget film. You know, I wouldn't call it super low budget. But yeah, not great, not horrible, but, you know, something to pass the time, and, you know, worth a watch just once, just to check out. got you, got you. Yeah, we're running low on the SMG rounds now too. I hope we have enough. Let's see. Alright, my friends.
Oh, you know that hurt.
And, you know, Crackle has gotten better, but it kind of reminded me of the early days of Netflix. Like, the really, really early days. I no longer have a Netflix account myself, but I started using it actually back in college originally, when they were originally a DVD rental service. And I was taking a journalism class, and there were certain movies that we had to watch in class, and some of them were a little older. Oh, jeez. Another better target here. Yep, yes I do. Yep, no, we're done. So I had to pick up some films to watch for my class, and some of them were harder to find. And some of the students, we were kind of, you know, talking to our professor, like, hey, these aren't really, you know, films that are easy to come across. So he suggested Netflix, and, you know, I had kind of heard the name before, but, you know, it's not something I had really looked into much. But so he's like, yeah, you know, try it, and, you know, you can get different plans, and, you know, they would allow you to rent so many movies at a time, and then you put them in your queue, kind of like you do now with the digital queue, and then you watch the film. You can keep it as long as you want, return it, and then when they get it, they mail you back out the next film in your queue. There's no late fees. There's, you know, if you want to keep the film, you know, for a week or a month, I mean, there's just keep it, watch it, and then when you're done, but you'd have to keep adding stuff to your queue to keep them sending you movies. If not, then they'd stop sending you films. But, you know, it was pretty neat. So it helped. I was able to get the movies I needed for my class, and I just ended up keeping the service off and on while I was in college. But there was a time then they started to advertise, oh, you know, we're going to start doing digital streaming. And originally, though, you know, I guess maybe there were issues with licensing, or I don't exactly know why or how that started. But originally, a lot of the films that they offered were
Come out, wherever you are.
well, they weren't great. You know, they were just, you know, some of them were really old. And not that old films are bad, but they weren't very good old films. You know, I guess whatever they could stream. So that was kind of my thing I did for a while. Like during the summer, especially. Working the schedule I had, unfortunately, didn't allow for a lot of social time between going to school. You know, between going to school full time and then working. But luckily during the summer I had some more free time. You know, and being the wannabe movie buff that I am, I always wanted to watch something new. So,
Getting better all the time.
and we got it, level 37. Keep putting points here in assault. Gosh darn it. There we go. So yeah, you know, always looking to check out something new. So after work, I'd come home, you know, not having any class and stuff, and, you know, I could stay up a little late, so I'd grab a beer, and throw on Netflix and see, okay, what horrible, what horrible atrocity can we watch tonight to see, you know, the horror films especially. Like some of those are like so bad, but they're of the variety that they're so bad you just have to watch it. Not like so bad I want to turn off the TV right now, but you're just kind of curious to see how it ends and what happens. And yeah, that was always good fun. Huh? One left. Yep, and we got one more component. And the last one is to the northwest. Yeah, so we pretty much did a whole tour of the area looking for these components. But this is just the first round in a series of many. Tannis will keep sending you out. Oh, great! We gotta attack the Hyperion little fort they have here. This should be fun. This should be fun. All right. Maybe not the smartest move. Looks like these guys are pretty well armored. A corrosive weapon, unfortunately. And the little claptraps will get in the way. Of course. Man, that shield just eats everything. He's hiding behind his buddy. That's great. Still alive. Whew. That was freaking close. Oh, forgot about you.
Halt. Put down your weapons. Hyperion Corporation does not wish to harm them.
Holy crap! Okay. Oh, okay. That was not planned the way I wanted. We're not gonna make it. We're out of it. Well, crap. SMG ammo's out. Combat rifle's out. To the sniper we go. What a mess. Easy moves his shield gets knocked out, he exposes himself and we can kind of hit him. Explosive damage doesn't do a lot. Kind of aiming for the upper body there. Come on. Man, we are burning through the ammo here. If we had Lilith, we could have just snuck in there and grabbed the last piece and ran out, but
I'm out.
holy cow. Oh boy. Oh boy. Revolver? Normally it doesn't come down to this. Normally we're not, The Iridian? Ah, so close. So close.
I'm out of match.
It's that guy in the corner. You pick me off. Ugh. Darn it. Alright, well. And we're out of... We're out. Crap. Alright. This is not good. You know what? Screw it. Jackpot! Hasta la vista. Not today, Hyperion. Not today. Well, they did kill me once, but you know what? I still take it as a win. And I'm out of ammo. And I said this wouldn't be a long recording, but here we are at our standard recording time. So. There we are. Let's go turn this in. Whew. Oh. You know, these windows always remind me of the windows from like a TIE fighter, and I think some of them are on the Death Star as well, like some of the windows in the, I think it was the Emperor's Chamber from Return of the Jedi. I wonder if they were hinting at something, or if it's just a coincidence. Hyperion's the Galactic Empire.
Greetings.
See? Oh, now she wants more. You thought 5 was a lot. Well, now she wants 42.
These parts should let me reroute the
She wants
Omega 13
42.
device to the snooze button.
But anyway, this is a good place to stop.
Greetings. This
We'll,
is Mr. Blake, Senior Vice
yeah.
President in charge of mercenary relations.
We'll
and
knock these out sooner or later.
Corporation.
So thank you all for staying to the end. If you enjoyed the content, please like and subscribe so you don't miss out on a future episode. And looking forward to catching you all in the next one.
Meet me
Later
at the
days.
Hyperion Tourist Information Center, and I'll make it worth your